What year is it?
Alright folks, welcome back. It's been a long ass while. It's been like 4 months. Technically 5 months since the last leak video about the T77 and the CS52 lists, or 53 lists. I don't remember what the name designation is, whatever. So I've been a lazy bum and it shows. But as with all new patches on the common test server, there are new hidden vehicles added to the main 32 files. They're not available for the public yet, so we can always take a sneak peek. But I missed patch 1.11, which is currently on the common test server, and 1.10.1, but it's only been 2 patches. It's okay. I've been busy with being lazy and stuff. So we have a long lineup. I'll try to go through the list rather quickly, give a quick first impression-ish. But we have the Carro 45T, special tier 10 Italian medium, likely for bidding in Clan Wars. We have the Cobra, a special tier 9 medium for the Brits, and the stats are not complete because it has 210 DPM, which is impossible, so stats are not complete. GSOR 1008, tier 8 premium tank destroyers for the Brit, even though it looks like a medium. 122 TM, special or premium tier 8 Chinese medium, and the introduction of the Italian heavies with the Progetto 71, and currently the Marathon Object 274A, which you're not getting for free because you're not that big of a masochist, are you? The missions are so impossibly long and hard. Giggity. But yeah, you're not getting it for free. You could get it for like 80% off, 90% off, but ugh, jeez. So let's go through the list. Tier 10 Carro 45T. It's a special Italian medium developed as a second half of 1960s as a part of collaboration with Western EU members. Looks very modern-ish, like a Abrams-ish of a design, but it's a medium. It has a 120 auto-reloading gun, and DPM is about 2,500 or so. I remember-ish. But 230 millimeters of frontal turret armor, which is not bad. 400 meters of view range, standard. Engine power of 720. Okay for a medium. It's not great. It's kind of slow though. A standard radio, and weighs about 50-ish tons, 45 tons-ish. But let's take a look at the stats. So crew of 4 fits all the projectos on the Italian side. 248 millimeters of pin. Gold shell is likely 290-ish. 320. Alright, never mind. High explosive 60. Not bad for a high explosive. But 400 alpha, auto reloader, 2500 DPM. So obviously DPM is not good as other medium tanks with single shot guns, but it's an auto reloader. Accuracy is a bit averages. Yeah, it's average. 0.36. Yeah, not that great. Aim time is long, 2.88. So it takes a while to snipe. Gun depression is good, 9 degrees. Elevation is 15. Turret traverse is somewhat slow for a medium, but it's auto reloading medium-ish, so designed for damage and close support, in my opinion. But here's the armor: 1,900 health. Below average for a combat medium, but it does have the gun, so it has to counterbalance that out. But 80 millimeter for the hull front, decent against tier 8s ish. Lower plate, it's sloped downwards, but yeah, you'll still pin the lower plate, mostly the upper plate. Turret front is strong, 230, slope backwards. You do have the commander cupola on the side. That's the weak spot, likely. And you cannot turn this gun too much, otherwise you negate the sloping and they'll pin the side of the cheeks. So don't turn the gun away from your opponent. That way, yeah, it's more effective. There are still slivers underneath the mantlet, like right here. You could be pinned right there. But armor-wise, it's decent. I mean, I think it's about the same as the 65 Progetto, but side armor is 70, rear armor is 30, side armor is garbage, top of the armor is garbage. So you get artillery. All the fun of being artillery. Mobility wise, 16 horsepower per ton ratio, weighs about 45 tons, 46 tons, top speed of 55, reverse of 23. Top speed is somewhat slow, but you're likely going to put the overcharger, or whatever that thing is called, and boost the speed up to 60 kilometers per hour. Hull traverse is fast. Concealment, below average. Fuel range, average. So I would say get the 907 first. And this is a decent buy, but I mean, I think it's still better than an M60, right? Or a 121B. But you can get those, well, can you still get those from the Bond shop? I wonder. Or the 7201K. You can also get the hybrid. Not the hybrid, the T95E6, but that's a niche. There's no vehicle for bonds. What the hell? Well, I would recommend that vehicle over the average of the bidding wars of tier 10 Clan Wars reward tank. But if you don't have the 907, bid for the 907 or bid for the Chieftain, because if you can, obviously. Moving on to the Cobra. It's not finished, but we can take a look at the model. Oh Christ. It looks like a smaller version of a Centurion hull. Medium oscillating turret. Only blueprints and one prototype. My god, looks like somewhat like an AMX turret. Like a larger version, mutated version of an AMX turret on a Centurion hull. Centurion's hull, 100mm of frontal hull armor, 130 for the oscillating turret. It's not well armored, period. Yeah, it's not well armored. This thing will get pinned. We cannot take a look at the firepower because it's not finished yet, but it is a 420 Blaze It Alpha crew of 3. What? It's a 120mm QF gun. Well, they did not finish the accuracy. They somewhat finished the aim time. Aim time is not bad for this big of a gun. Has 10 degrees of gun depression. Turret traverse is not bad. Just takes a long ass while to reload because it's not finished. So, holy shit. But yeah, I mean, if it's an autoloader, it might be fun. It's only a single shot, so it punches pretty hard. But the crew of 3 is wonky for British mediums. It's a tier 9 too. Never mind, I thought it was a premium tier 8. It's a tier 9. Well, the DPM must be real good for this thing to be somewhat decent. But you're missing out on the loader training. So that sucks. Armor is not only 100 hit points. That's not finished. Well, horsepower per ton ratio is very high. 29. Top speed of 5 though. Reverse of 5. So seems like the engine power is rather good, but they have to tweak the top speed obviously. So, and view range is only 50. Radio is garbage. Well, they're going to tweak this thing out, but if it's 30 horsepower per ton ratio with a large ass gun, if the DPM is like 2,700 or something, this thing might be good as a flanking light tank that's posing as a medium, but it's funky designed wise. I mean, it's a small turret design and it's shifted towards the front. Okay, I mean, 120mm with a 420 alpha. Blaze it. GSOR 1001. British tank destroyer with oscillating turret. Include the mobility aspect, blueprints, dummy vehicle. Alright. Somewhat looks like the hull of a T-42 American medium, like the hull of a T-69 if you don't have the T-42, but large ass oscillating turret. Kind of looks like the Manticore's turret a little bit, but it's a tank destroyer. It's a 105mm L7 autoloader. Interesting. Takes a long ass while to reload though. 45 seconds, 44 seconds. Takes 2 seconds between each shell. Takes 4 shells in the clip. So punches out rather decently at 1200 alpha-ish. 1300 alpha-ish, but takes a while though. 11 degrees of gun depression, that's great. Only 10 elevation, that's horrible. Accuracy is good, aim time is okay, DPM just garbage. It's a medium tank, right? It's a tank destroyer? What? Well, crew of 3, so you're missing out on the loader training aspect, and we don't even have to look at the armor, right? We don't need to, right? Armor is 99 at the front, so about 150 on rounded areas. There are a few troll spots, if you will, but most likely you'll pin. Very most likely you will pin. There are a few troll spots, so aim your shots, but side armor's garbage, rear armor's garbage. Mobility wise, not that fast. Well, top speed is good, but horsepower per turn ratio is not great. Weighs about 45 tons though with equipment. Not bad. It can go ramming, but hull armor is not that great for ramming. Yeah, hull traverse is fast for a tank destroyer-ish, but it has a turret. Concealment, like a medium tank, above average medium. Not as good as, you know, STRVs, but okay enough. And view range is 370. Radio is garbage. It's very underperforming in my opinion. And yeah. I mean, you have the AT-15A to choose from, or what other British premium medium tanks do we have? I don't remember, but that's American. Tank destroyers, actually we don't have any. You could have the AT-15A, you could play with Excalibur, even though technically that's not a premium, or the 1A3 if you don't have it, but okay. It's not that great of a tank destroyer. It's okay of a medium tank, maybe. Doesn't feel that powerful. Yeah, alright, on to the Chinese. 122 TM, premium Chinese medium at tier 8. Capture Soviet T-62, developed from that. Looks somewhat of a cross from a T-62 or a STB-ish of a design. Has anti-tank missiles, but you can't even use it, so what's the point? It's only for aesthetics. Does have the tinted butt flaps for your pleasure, but crew of 4 for all the Chinese crew members. 120mm, even though it's 122 TM. Alright, that's fun. 233mm of pen, which is great for tier 8, 400 alpha. Okay. Holy shit, the reload time is long. 16.78 reload time for a 400 alpha? My god, the DPM suck. That is real bad. 1430? That's like even worse than the T-34 or the Luva. That's real bad. Accuracy is good. Aim time is decent. 8 degrees of gun depression, 15 elevation. Turret turns a little bit slowly. The DPM just sucks. 1400 health. Armor for the turret is very strong. And armor for the hull is decent, 135. It's not that well sloped, but 135 is about 209mm effective. And obviously this thing has 8 degrees of gun depression, so hull down is great. Yeah, hull down is great, but you do have the gigantic ass commander and loader cupolas, or gunner cupolas. It's actually the loader in the back, and that's the commander. Should be the commander. But holy shit. Yeah, the DPM just sucks. The turret's strong. Turret's very strong. Other than the cupolas. Yeah, just pinned the hull. Or the side armor. Side armor's 80. It's okay. It's like a Tiger 2 side armor, if you think about it. But God, is that DPM. Mobility wise, 15.47. Yeah, and I cannot check out the terrain resistance because they took away that option from the main menu, so that sucks. But 15 kilometers per hour top speed, 50 kilometers per hour top speed, 15 in reverse, hull traverse, medium tank, so good. Camo rating, decent, not bad for a medium. So slightly above average, and view range of 370, garbage. View range suck. DPM suck. It has armor, but there are weak spots. So it's like a heavy medium tank-ish of a combat role. You might as well play the T-34-3 with preferential matchmaking, right? Or Type 59 if you already have it, but... And the dog is going nuts. But yeah, I know the tanks suck. Tanks. Oh, I have to change the loadout for the equipments. It's been a while. Alright, on to the Progetto 71 Premium Tier 8 introduction to the Italian heavies. Italian heavies will have a crew similar to other medium tanks and has a 105mm autoloader. It's a heavy tank though, so it'll fire how many shots from the clip? 3 shots from the clip. Takes a while. The accuracy is god awful. It's like a Russian gun at tier 7. Aim time is rather long. Wonderful. Oof. Armor for the turret 185. And view range 380. View range is not bad for heavy, but armor is situational. There you go, that's the term. 600 horsepower engine, underwhelming. And radio is garbage, 525. Wonderful. Weighs about, let's see, 52 tons or so. But let's take a look at the actual stats. 218mm of pen, 360 alpha. So it's like a Centurion Action X-ish, but with more alpha, at the cost of DPM. DPM is only 1877, which is okay for a heavy tank, but you cannot put a ram around this thing, so compared to the Action X Carnarvon or the Jumbo Pershing, they'll probably do a better job at holding out a hill compared to this thing, but 10 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation. Turret traverse is rather quick for heavy. And gold shell. Haven't taken a look at the gold shell for all of these, but you should not rely on gold shell, right? 270. It's okay. Let's see the armor. That's more important. 1400 health, below average. Some medium tanks have that health. So, alright, turret is somewhat strong, but there are space armor for the turret. Interesting. There are creases. That's a space armor shield. So it's like a Super Conqueror's turret, in a sense. The mantlet's also covered with space armor. That's nice. It's a 20mm space armor covering the turret front, the mantlet, and the upper plate. Interesting. And let's take a better look at the exact values, but there are strips where you could get pinned with gold shell. So compared to vehicles like the Jumbo Pershing, the T26E5, that thing is very hard to pin with gold shell unless you shoot the commander cupola, and even so, it's still rather difficult. This thing has a larger weak spot, quote unquote, if you get shot with gold shell. So if we're using a 120mm gun with about 270mm alpha pin, yeah, more than 3/4 of the time it will go through the turret front. So shooting gold shell from, shooting gold shell from its own gun into this turret front, it will pin more than 1/4 of the time. So unless they're shooting normal shells, you will be pinned with gold shell all the time. So that's conditional. So let's go back to 200mm of pin, or 200mm of, there we go, go to 2, there we go. Lower plate, weak spot. Upper plate, yeah, it's not the best upper plate. You do have space armor, but it's only 120. So about 200mm effective or so. Yeah. Horsepower per ton ratio is about 12.5-ish. Top speed of 50, reverse of 15. Weighs about 50 tons with equipment. Ultraverse is rather quick, but what would you put on this thing? Likely vents, since this thing is more focused on firepower, in my opinion, and the vents will help with the auto reloader. You could put. I'm debating if you could put the supercharger, the turbocharger, if you call it that, to help out with the engine power, but, and maybe, what's another good heavy tank equipment for a auto reloader heavy tank? Maybe optics, if you're saucy. Maybe vertical stabilizer, or a, actually, you should put the gunner sights as your equipment for this thing, because the accuracy is garbage. Yeah, you should put something like improved aiming, put vents, and put engine turbocharger. So that way it helps out with the view range, helps out with your mobility a little bit, helps out with the gun dramatically because of the gunner sights or the improved aiming sights. And obviously, I wouldn't think you should put like improved hardening for this vehicle. Nah, you don't need that. And it's an auto reloader, so you cannot put rammers, which sucks. Yeah, you probably have somewhat like this of a loadout, in my opinion, but it's up to you. But finally, we have the current marathon, which I haven't talked about. So the Object 274A, it has a 107mm, so we'll go through slope armor on the S tank, rather good. DPM is actually decent. Crew of 4, fits all Russian mediums, but DPM of 2225, that's pretty good. And penetration is good. Alpha, high tier Russian alpha, just takes a little bit longer to reload, but hey, 6 degrees of gun depression, aim time is a little bit long, and accuracy is average. But yeah, this DPM is crazy because Russian bias, right? And armor wise, 1200 health, yeah, slightly below average, but yeah. And turret front is strong, 220, so rounded. Yeah, you're not penetrating turret front. You could penetrate the mantlet with gold or shoot the cupola weak spot. Upper plate, 181, so sometimes you'll throw your shots into the sides, but most of the time, if you aim correctly, you'll pin. Side armor is 70. Is it sloped downwards like the 277? Wow, it is. It is somewhat sloped downwards. It's 60mm with 20mm of space armor, so it's like a smaller version of an Object 277 in terms of hull design. And you can technically side scrape and bounce a few shells if they are not properly aimed into your side armor. That's interesting. I have to remember that when shooting at this thing. But then again, haven't been playing the game for that much. 17.26 horsepower per ton ratio. That's actually decent for a Russian medium. Top speed of 58. Reverse of 15. Ultraverse is quick. Weighs about 40 tons. Concealment above average for Russian. Well, above average for medium, not Russian. View range 390, which is also decent. Radio is superb. Well, Russian bias. That's all I can say. So basically, you just put. I deem all these. This is my standard when I put medium tanks. So optics, rammer. So with that, you have almost 2,500 DPM, which is crazy. Mobility is also decent. Yep. And view range will boost it up. So that's the equipment technically I use for all my mediums because they're combat mediums. If you're going for the sniping mediums, you might want to put... Actually, that's also good for sniping mediums. Or if you have a longer aim time, like the Chinese mediums, you'll rather put something like maybe improve aiming or vertical stabilizer to help with the aiming. Likely improve aiming to reduce the dispersion count. But there we go, folks. 30-minute video. I'll try to record with OBS now instead of the mirrorless action. And I'll try to use Sony Vegas to edit all the stuff now, but been a lazy bum. Been lazy bum. But thank you guys for watching this video. I'll try to go back to a normal schedule. So the new mic, the new audio tuner. Ugh, it's all dusty now because I haven't been using it. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.